Hello everybody, welcome to my live. Thank you for joining me. I'm here on a Tuesday to show you some really fun Valentine's Day cards. My name is Laura Roderick. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in San Antonio, Texas, and I try and go live every Tuesday if I'm able, just to craft and share some fun projects with you. So how's everybody? Is everyone having a good week? I need to find myself on Facebook. Okay, it doesn't want to find me. Hold, please. Hi, Renee. Okay, there I am. I want to make sure that I can see all the comments. Hi, Roz. How's everybody? We're good here. It's been, you know, winter, but, you know, for us, it's pretty mild. So, you know, it's all good. It's all good. All right, nothing exciting to report. I think I'll just flip my camera around and we'll get started on our projects. All right. Oh, I might be a little bit too high for now. Let's move that over. Okay, we'll start here. Okie dokie. All right, you guys, let's start with some announcements. Hi, Jolene. We have bonus days. Have you guys seen this? Have you placed an order? It's from January 6th to February 2nd. Every time you spend $50, you earn a $5 coupon, which is awesome. And then you can redeem it in February 3rd to the 28th. So you'll get money off your orders. This is in addition to the 10% that you get on your Stampin' Rewards. So just extra money, right? So what I've been doing with my orders is I'm just pasting the codes onto a Word document, and then I'll just have all the codes that I could just cut and paste in when it's time to place my order in February. So don't miss out. It's a great time to order. Also, you guys, the January product of the month is a stamp set. And let's see if I have it behind me here. And this is $5 if you spend $75 or more on an order. So these look like really fun sentiments. I haven't used it yet, but I like how you can have those mixed sentiments with the sentiments with the mixed fonts. So $5 for a stamp set, also a real bargain. I love how they're starting us off on the new year with some nice money savings, right? We all need that after December. Okay, so we have that going. Here's a couple of samples that they show. Really cute, right? I like it. All right, you guys, 3 new kits. I think we talked about this last week. The Adopt a Pet kit. This one is so cute, especially for kids. I got a couple extras because, you know, when my grandkids come or I go visit them, I definitely am going to have them do it. Super easy kit. It's just paper folding. It's already got, like, you know how some of our boxes have the glue already on there, like the tape. You just peel it off and put it together. Super easy. Look at some of these cute projects. So we have the cute little dog house. Here's the little puppy. And so, you know, obviously you're not sending these or anything, but they're pretty much for decoration. You could put them in a kid's room, or the kids can just play with them. We have this cute little hamster with this little crate or cage, if you will. A little kitty in a box now. Isn't that just so cute? Look at that. And then the other one is a little bird cage, and you have this beautiful parrot. It looks like a parakeet. What would you say? I'm not good on stuff like that. So cute little bird cage. It comes with these little adoption certificates, and then these two, which I haven't punched out yet, like little toys for each of the animals. So cute. I think my grandkids are going to have a lot of fun with these. And they're crafty. Their mom is crafty. Their grandma's crafty. So they like to do stuff already, even though they're only 2 and 4 years old. So this will be a great kit to share with them. It's only $15, which is a great price. Here is the number down here. If you can see it, the order number. It's, of course, on the online store. This one is beautiful. I wanted to do it the other day, but I ran out of time. This is also a non-stamping kit, so you're just going to put it together. It looks like there's a lot of pieces to put together, so I'd like to get that done soon. This one is also $15. What a great bargain. I love a good kit where it's easy, right? Very easy. Oh, excuse me, Renee, a budgie. Okay, a type of, very interesting. Butterfly garden kit. This is a stamping kit. This one's a little bit more because you have the stamps and the block and everything. It's $24, but gets you in the mood for spring, right, with the pretty butterflies. So really good kits. I love the kits they have this month. It's awesome. Okay, yeah, Jolene, good idea. Valentine's gift for the kids. Good idea. All right, Valentine's Day. Here we go. So this week I'm using the Endless Love bundle, and it's got some paper that goes with it. Beautiful paper. This paper is called Made with Love Designer Series paper. Beautiful patterns. I'll kind of show them to you as we go along. I mean, every pattern in there is beautiful. Let's see, do I have one? I have one that's open already, so let me just run through this for you real quick. But I love small patterns because they're easy to work with, and just different colors of hearts. I love this. So here's, you know, you've got your stripes and your dots. And look at this one with the cute little flower images on the pink. I love that, and I haven't used it yet. More hearts. This one I used, what did I use it on? Was that our calendar kit for February? Because I love like the little arrows and flowers. I love how the Flirty Flamingo color works with everything too. And of course, X's and O's, some little stripes, more hearts. I mean, this is a great, great paper pack. And I think there's a scrapbooking kit too that has that paper in it. So I ordered it. I have to commit to scrapbooking. I have to do it because sometimes I order the kits and I don't actually do the scrapbooking. All right, so cards for tonight. Here we go. We're going to do this one that says Hugs and Kisses today and always. We're going to make a shaker card because you know we had to with these cute little shaker pieces that they're selling right now. This one says Sending You Love. And then we've got two treat things. So we're making this cute little mailbox treat box, a little Valentine's Day mailbox, which I think is cute. We've got some little treats in there. And then one of the items in the suite are these gusseted treat bags. And these are very large. I'm trying to pull one out so I can show you how large they are. They're very skinny and tall, right? So here's one we have right here. And they have the little, what do you call it? Can't think of the name right now. The wire twist tie type closure at the top, right? So I'm cutting mine down and re-securing the twist tie because I didn't know what to do with it being that long. So we're going to make one that's a little shorter, and we've just got like a little collage on the front. Also good for putting some little treats, maybe a hot chocolate packet, whatever you want inside for somebody. Speaking of hot chocolate, I saw some really cute, I think I was at Target. I'm sure they sell them everywhere. Heart marshmallows, pink heart marshmallows. I was like, oh, so cute. I should never go down the Valentine's aisle at like Target because I just, oh, I need this. Oh, that's so cute. You know how it is, right? All right, let's get started making our projects because I feel like a couple of them might take a little bit of time. We'll see how it goes. This first one is a fairly easy project. We've done this design a lot. I don't know if you can see the embossing on this piece right here, this white piece. I went with the new striped embossing folder, but I'm going to try something different tonight too as we make it. So, all right, let me get out. First of all, here is the bundle that we're using. A nice basic Valentine's Day bundle. So this is the stamp set right here. It's called Endless Love. I always love a good to and from. We've got things to mix and match here. Lots of X's and O's and hearts. Some texture to stamp into your hearts. Little dots. And then these are the dies, which are also beautiful. The hearts are just a little offset. They're not intended to be symmetrical, right? Although this one is symmetrical, this little tag one. I'm in love with these arrows. I love this one too, this die here. You can kind of see them. So there's the smaller arrows, there's the bigger arrow. There's a little tag, and I didn't use the tag, but I could have. I probably should have done that for the hugs and kisses part. Sometimes I just get so excited, I just forge forward and don't really look at everything as I'm doing it. If you need a bunch of little hearts, there you have the die right here. And this one here, we're going to use on this first card to punch out a Flirty Flamingo heart. This is the embossing folder that I was talking about, and it's called Lovely Stripes 3D Embossing Folder. And it's just stripes with texture, little dots. So this is a really nice basic embossing folder to have. I thought we'll use the one from the suite tonight with the hearts. And I don't know if it's going to look like too many hearts on our card, but you can see the little pattern here with the hearts. We're going to try it and see what it looks like. The other thing we're using for this first card are the branching out dies. So we're going to use a couple of these to layer on the front of our card. Okay, pieces, here we go. Lots of reds and pinks, right? Of course. So we're starting with a basic card base at 8.5 by 5.5. And it gets scored right down the middle at 4 1/4. And then we're also going to score it at 2 1/8. So we have it folded over in half this way. We're going to fold this flat back. And as you fold it, even though it's scored, just make sure that your edges line upright. We don't want any wonky edges, right? Let me get my bone folder and make sure that's a nice crisp fold. All right, so there we go. There is our card base. Now, this is the DSP that we're going to use. It's the Made with Love DSP. This is 5 1/4 by 4. Don't you just love this pattern? Look at the different pretty colors. You have the real red, flirty flamingo, and bubble bath hearts on it. So pretty. So often, you know, if I'm looking to make cards, I'm looking at the DSP because it's just, you see a piece and you're like, oh my goodness, I have to use that. It's just so pretty. And I think I've said before, I like to use big pieces of the DSP to really kind of show it off. So this is going to go on the inside. Then I have a matching piece that's going to go on the outside flap. And this is 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. And so that's going to go right here. We can go ahead and put that down. Then we have a nice pretty heart base for our card. Then I'll start going through the other pieces with you. Okay, there we go. All set. Ready to go. Didn't get real creative with this tonight. I'm trying to do a little bit of simple stuff. Okay, so we have one of those branching out dies in real red, and then these other two white ones are the same size. One is for the inside, and we'll use that one to write our greeting. And then this one is the heart one. I've already embossed it, so you can see I've embossed the hearts on it, and that's going to layer on top of this one. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to add a little extra to make sure the embossing sticks. So that's just an easy layer right here, like that. Okay. So we're going to build on this. We'll put this on the inside last. I think we're going to stamp some hearts on that too. Did we? Let me see if we did anything. Yeah. So we're going to stamp Today and Always and do some hearts in there. I did not pull any, let's see, stamp pads. Okay. All right, so next we've got some die cutting. So this is going to come die cut if you get the kit this week. This is from the Stylish Shapes dies, and this is for our greeting. Or you can use the little, you could die cut out of Flirty Flamingo, the one that I showed you. This little scrap of gold is going to be for our arrow. And then this piece of Flirty Flamingo, I think, is about 2 by 2, 2.5 by 2.5. Let's see, how big is it? Flirty Flamingo, 2.5 by 2.5. So we're going to take the die and we're going to cut out this really pretty heart. So we've got that. We're cutting out the big arrow from there, and we've got our greeting. All right, let's stamp next. So on this piece, we're going to do some embossing, some gold embossing, because I wanted to add a little bit more gold since we had the gold arrow to the front of this. So let me get out my gold embossing powder, my embossing buddy. And then, hold on, my tools are missing. They fell behind, pardon my arm. Here's that, and maybe or maybe not. We need the brush, I'm not sure, but let me try and find it. Okay, sometimes I keep them all on top of my embossing powders, and sometimes they fall off. Okay, sorry about the movement. Okay, so I'm gonna get some Versamark out, and we're gonna do Hugs and Kisses. Let me get it right in the center here. Okay. Let's get a little bit of gold embossing powder. And it's very small, so I'm going to have to use my reverse tweezers to hold it. Get our embossing powder on here. Looking good. Now we need to get our little heat tool out. Alright, are you guys starting to think about Valentine's Day? I've been shopping a couple times for candy, some little things like a new heart wreath for the front door. So I'm a little excited about Valentine's Day this year. I love it. Unfortunately, I still have Christmas up everywhere. So now it's starting to become a mixture of things, which is no good. But my husband started getting all the bins out today, so we'll spend the next week or 2 weeks getting everything put away. There's a lot of things we put up for Christmas, so. But I'm anxious now. I like to keep my Christmas up for a while because I like to enjoy it. You know, you go to a lot of trouble to put it all up, and I like to enjoy it, so I keep it up for a while. But then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to get some Valentine's Day stuff up. I got to get it down. So that's where we are. Okay, so let's build on this. This is super easy. Let me get some glue out. My glue, it's embarrassing to even show my glue right now. I mean, it really is. I need to clean it up or open a new one or do something. It's a mess. Ouch. And then I just stabbed myself. That was good. All right. So the first thing I want to do is place this heart, this arrow through the heart, and we'll kind of put it behind in this way. All right. So, I've got embossing powder on my fingers now. I'm going to start by putting a little bit of glue behind here to secure our arrow. So start like that. And then a little bit on this side right here. I'm just going to hold that for a minute and hopefully not glue my fingers together. And then we will take the whole thing and add some glue to it so we can put it down on our card. So am I the only one, or does anybody else still have their Christmas up? What's today's date? Today's only, I don't know, it's the 13th today? I don't think that's too late to have your Christmas stuff up. I mean, we took the outside stuff down, you know, right like on the 2nd or 3rd because, you know, we don't want to annoy the neighbors, but on the inside, still full on Christmas. Okay. Hi, Lisa. Okay, so I kind of want this so the heart is straight towards the top so we can put our sentiment on. So I think this will be good right here. I'm going to just grab a block and just set it on top for a minute, and I'll put some dimensionals on here. Are y'all having good weather? Does anybody have snow? Whoa. Everybody's football team's doing okay. We, you know, I'm a Bears fan being from Chicago, and boy, was that exciting the other night when they won. Or was it the other day or the other night? I think it was on Sunday this time. I don't remember. Okay, so on the inside, let's do today and always, and we're just going to do our 3 hearts, and then we'll just put that in, right? Today and always, we're going to start with the Flirty Flamingo. All right, today and always. Renee, bipolar weather, that's hilarious. All right. Let's see if I can get this straight. As you can see, I mounted it on my stamp in a weird way. But sometimes that works better for me than straight. All right, we need some hearts. We'll start with the lighter colored one. And we'll just put one here. And then we'll go ahead and get some real red out. couple more. Okay, let's finish assembling. So we want to put this right on the flap, so we're only going to put glue on this half right here. So I'm just going to use a little bit or a lot of adhesive, and I'm going to center it on the card and hope that I didn't go over so it still opens. There we go. All right, so this side right here is for the inside, and we are going to put our adhesive. We're going to flip it over and center it to where we want it on the inside, like that. We're going to flip it over and lightly press it on because sometimes it still comes out a little bit crooked. And then see, are we happy with the placement of that? I feel like it's just a tiny bit crooked. Let's see if I can get it up a little bit. But in the basic general area that we want it, right? See, I said press it lightly, and then what did I do? Not so lightly. Okay, that's fine. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, when it closes now, it covers it perfectly. Okay, a little bit of embellishment, and I have a lot of these gold dots left. So I wanted to use some of these just to add, again, another touch of gold to the front. Let me pull these out of here. These ones in this packet are just the large ones. So I was like, all right, I've got a lot of extra large ones. Let's start using them. And put a couple. Whoa. Hold on. And one at the bottom. Right there. All right, first card, super easy card, right? You can make a bunch of these. Change up the sentiment. Maybe you don't want to send hugs and kisses to everybody on your Valentine's card list. Maybe you just wanted to say Happy Valentine's Day or something else. But thank you for the hearts. This is our first fun Valentine's Day card. Okay, I got to catch up on the comments for a minute. Okay, Lisa, your team won. Good, good. Oh, Renee, I did not know that the Seahawks win the Super Bowl every time a new pope is elected. However, the pope's from Chicago, so maybe that's going to change this year. I don't know. Okay, all right, you guys, next one. Shaker card time, right? Super fun. I've got the X's and O's behind here. I didn't distribute these two equally, so we're going to try and do better when I do this card right here. But that is the basic idea. All right, we're going to use perennial postage dies for this one. This second to the largest one right here. And here's our card kit. Now, I just want to take a second and just say, if you would like to get the kit to make these cards, I sell the kits. You can either get it free by placing an order of $50 or more with me on my Stampin' Up website by Saturday, and you'll get the make and takes free. I cut the classes on Sunday. Sometimes I pre-cut some of them, and then I just add to it on Sunday. And then I mail them out Monday morning. If you don't want to place an order with me, you can also purchase them for $22. That includes the shipping, and I send it to you. You'll get the items to make all four of the projects tonight. They're all come in an envelope. They're pre-cut. They look like this, except for this part's not going to be pre-cut because you already have the dies for that. What you need is the bundle for this, the Endless Love bundle. Any other shapes that are not in that bundle, I will cut for you. For example, the perennial postage thing, I will cut for you. So let me get out one, because I did pre-cut a couple just to show you. This is actually how the kits are going to come. So it will come like this. Let me take this out for a minute. So what you're going to do, step one, is you're going to adhere this piece of Flirty Flamingo Hearts to the perennial postage cutout, die cutout, and then you're going to take the hearts and die cut it. So I would say use a lot of adhesive on this. I probably did at least 4 rows of tape, you know, this adhesive tape runner. Or you could use regular glue if you wanted to and let it dry first. But sometimes when you die cut, things can shift. So that's why I wanted to make sure it was really secure. And then you're going to take your dies from your Endless Love bundle. It's going to be this one right here, and you're going to cut it out twice. And you can see the pattern. I cut it out once, a little bit up towards the upper corner, and then down this way is the other one. So that's how you're going to create this piece. Okay. Hi, Sharon. All right, so that is the dealio with that. Okay, starting with Flirty Flamingo, again, a nice basic card with basic cardstock. So Flirty Flamingo, 8.5, 5.5, scored at 4.25, 5.25 by 4 with white, and then we have some more of that DSP with the little hearts. We'll do a little bit of stamping on the inside that just says love, because it says sending you love. All right. So we'll put this aside for stamping. We're going to put this aside for building on. This is going to go on here, right? We've got a layer, 5.25 by 4. Again, this is the hearts, but a little different shape and smaller. Very, very pretty. I think I'm in love with the DSP this year. I just am. I also, you guys, there's that other Valentine's Day set, and we used it to make the February calendar card with the bears, but that one's sold out right now, and I can't remember when it's coming back. I think it's the end of January. So I could not do a class with that just yet because it's sold out. Now, I have a piece of basic white. Okay, Lisa, I like your logic on your football win, your upcoming football win. Like it. All right, so this piece of basic white is 4.25 by 3. And this is going to be the background. We're going to pop this up, but this is going to be the background. So that's going to get adhered to here. All right. And I think, let's not put it down yet because we want to line things up. All right. So when we start our stamping, we're going to line some things up. All right, we'll have to do the inside. This is going to be sending you a little sentiment. And this little piece of basic white is, it's a 1/2 inch by 2.25. All right, so we've got that. These are for die cutting. So take the one that has the 2 arrows and die cut 2 arrows out, 2 little white arrows out of this piece. So here's our 2 white arrows. And then this little scrap of real red. I know I keep putting my hands really high. I'm sorry. I wish I could get my camera to go just a little bit higher. You're going to, let me show you the die for this. It's this one right here with all the different size hearts. Now you've got kind of a big, a medium, and 4 small. These are very small. So if you don't want to play with these because they're too tiny, I think they look cute. You can always cut a bunch of these ones out here. Okay. So that's what these are for. So let me get out some of these hearts. And let's see. Small, medium, some medium. Let me get a bunch of little small ones out. Can you see these, how tiny they are? They're very tiny. All right, so I've got some of those out too, all right? I'm just gonna put these aside until we finish our stamping. Hold on a second, I need a drink of water. Well, it's fun, right, Lisa, with the football? I mean, the Bears haven't been in the playoffs in a very long time, and so we're super excited. And, you know, we've got a little bit of a rivalry at work because a couple of our doctors are from Green Bay and a couple, you know, I'm from Chicago and another one of the doctors is from Chicago. So there's a little bit, you know, we can't really be friends during football season, but, all right, I'm lining this up behind here and I'm just going to set it down and we're going to stamp the X's and the O's in real red. And I want to make sure that they're going to align, so I'm just going to set it over and just stamp right where I think it should be. Now, what you have to be careful of, and I'm terrible at this, is making sure you're not going to, because your DSP is sitting up there a little bit higher, if you have ink in places aside from what you want to stamp, it could mess up your DSP. So I think when I did it, when I did my first card, I just kind of put a couple pencil marks and I just stamped it without this, but let's try it and see what happens. Okay, didn't look too messed up. Let's see if I can pick up ink without getting around the whole edge. Just so we have a little bit of an interesting background. I don't know what got on there, but it looks like there's just a little tiny dot of something on there. If you ever have that and you have Stampin' Right markers, you can just dot it in. So I'm just going to take my red and not really color it, just add a few dots. Otherwise it looks kind of too obvious because it's not exactly the same color. And any other like white spaces you can dot into. And keep in mind, this is going to be covered up with some, what do you call it? Shaker thing. So it's going to be fine. Okay. Next, let's do the Sending You in Real Red. Barely fits. But it does. All right, got that. And on the inside, now this is going to be the tricky one. I'm actually going to get out a little foam mat to stamp it on because it's a big image. And that is our love image. Now, if you have a Stampin' tool, like a Stamparatus, you could use that too. Because what if you don't, it might help you go over it twice to get a darker image. The other thing I found with this great big one is the little lines that connect are a little high. So let's see if we can do it without these little lines showing, because the first time I stamped this, I got the lines showing. So let's see how this goes. Pressing it down hard. Okay, I think that's good. We'll keep that. Oh, maybe not. It's a little dark on this side with a little bit of, let's try it again. Why not? And then we'll pick which one we like better. Okay, pretty much the same. Not much difference there. But I still think it's fine. Okay, then we're going to do some hearts like we did in the last one, and they're just 2 Flirty Flamingo hearts. So let's get those back out, and I have to clean my stamp real quick because it's got the red on it. So yeah, I feel like that stamp is just a little tricky. And I know part of it's just my technique that I'm pressing too hard when I'm picking up the ink in the first place. My fault, user error. Okay. Now we can take our little piece of the DSP and put that down. And then we can finish off the inside. Ugh. Ink on the fingers, no bueno. Let me see where my little sand eraser is. Let's clip this off. Hard to believe I haven't used scissors yet. Okay. Just a little sand eraser on that smudge. It isn't very dark, so it's easy to rub off. Terrific. Okay, now we need to get building on our card. Okay, so we have this piece and this piece. What we're going to do first, and you know what I didn't do? I didn't cut. I lost my mind for a second. Let me get a pencil. Window sheets. And I think the window sheet will be the same size as our basic white, so 4 1/4 by 3. Let me find some and cut some real quick. All right, this is going to be an even 4, and I need 4 1/4, so remove this tissue paper a little bit that protects it. So I'm going to go 4 1/4, oops, 3 this way. Four 1/4. Did anybody have anything good for dinner? So I do this every once in a while. I feel like I should eat something that I don't really like because it's healthy. So we had salmon for dinner tonight, but I really don't like it. I ate it because I feel like I should eat salmon sometimes, but I just really don't like it. Okay, let's see how that measures up. And that is going to be perfect. We're going to take some adhesive. And we're just going to glue down. I'm just kind of going around the edges here. And a little bit around the hearts. And we'll take this, try not to get any fingerprints on it. Or smear the glue too much. And just set that down, and we'll let that dry just a little bit for a second, maybe. We can put this down in the meantime on the middle of our card. Make sure we put the X's and O's where they're supposed to be. All right. So we can see that this is going to be popped up right here, and that looks like it'll fit perfectly. All right, now let's get some of our strips out. These are adhesive foam strips, and we're going to go around the edges with it. I think shaker cards are so much fun. I feel like people like to get them. And how they made these little shaker. Have you guys seen these little elements? These loose Valentine's assortment. And it's really pretty because it's got the red and pink hearts. It's got some little sprinkles. It has these little like envelopes in there. And then also has some little red lips. I mean, just so cute. You guys get back over there. So I'm just going to go around the edge. And then what I'm going to do is kind of compartmentalize the hearts, because this is a really wide area, and I want to make sure there's some of the shaker elements in each heart. So I'm just going to kind of separate them just a little bit. Nothing fancy. Nobody's going to see this side, so it truly does not matter. And I'm just going to kind of make this area a little bit smaller too. That way you don't have to use quite as many of the little shaker things. Whoops. I'll make sure this all is even. Okay. So this is what we have. All right. We want to make sure this is all pressed down firmly, and we can pull these tapes up. So before I pull up the tapes though, let me start putting some of the elements in place, because I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put it on this way, and it's going to go right over. All right, so let me bring it down a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to take some, and these are rubbery. These are different than other elements we've had. They're just kind of, I don't know what they're made of, but they're very rubbery. So I'm just going to put them over the two hearts. I don't know if this is too much or too little, but we want to make sure it's not going to get caught up on any of them when we lay down our stuff, because we don't want them to be able to exit it all. And I don't want it too high in the middle, because sometimes they get stuck if they're too high. So I think, you know, I wanted to check it before I put it on, but I think that's going to be pretty good. Maybe this one needs to come down just a tiny bit. All right, I feel like that's good. I can take off all these tapes. Or can I? Off this one. And then the ones in the middle. All right, moment of truth, tricky part. Can we get it lined up? And if they're static, then you have a problem, right? I'm going to pull it down just a little bit more so I can get on top of the white. I don't want any white to show. I want to make sure it's lined up, because lining it up is everything. All right, press it down, test it out. You can see I've got a little clump right here. This one's sticking straight up, but you can work that out, shaking it back and forth. It looks like I pretty much broke that up. Okay, there we go. All right, let's finish decorating the outside of it. We've still got our Sending You, which we're going to pop up. Oh, it's really hot in here. And I turned the air conditioning on too. And my husband will be in the other room freezing. But I'm hot because I have a sweatshirt on and these lights get really hot. Okay, then I'm going to take the 2 arrows and I'm just going to cut them in half. And then we're going to glue them on around our hearts. So let's get that. Now the tricky part with this too is making sure it looks like they're lined up on both sides. So we want this one to come off this way. And I'm going to cut a little bit more off. I want it a little bit shorter. So it's still kind of like on the card. Come on. Behave. Let's get the angle right here. Aren't these little arrows cute? I love them. Let's cut a little off this one too, make it just a little bit shorter. I probably could have made the other arrow a little bit shorter too. All right, line it up. How is it going to be straight? Maybe like that. Okay, we're going to have the other one going in the other direction. And cut a little bit more of that one off too. Super fun kit to play with. Super, super fun. Whoops, get back there. So slippery. Just a tad off of that one. So Valentine's Day is on a Saturday this year, right? And then I think the next day, Sunday, you know, our rodeo comes to town in February. So that's exciting. And I'm going to go see Brad Paisley on the 15th at the rodeo. So that's going to be super fun. I love our rodeo. Okay, last thing is we're going to add some of those hearts. And I'm just going to put them on to kind of see where I want them, and then we'll glue them down. So we'll have a big one. Maybe. My tweezers are very skinny. And a medium one, and then we'll play with the little ones. So let me get my hands clean, full of red ink. All right, never mind lining them up. Let's just put them down because they're slippery little buggers. They want to go everywhere they're not supposed to go. So you can see how tiny these are. If you wanted, you could have just taken 3, cut out 3 from that other die. Might be a little bit easier. You have the dies, so you can decide how you want your hearts to go. And then we'll just do the other 3 little ones. And let's see if I can pick them up this way. The teeny tiny little hearts. Doesn't help with these nails either because it's hard to grip them. Okay, that's it. So there we have a nice fun Valentine's Day shaker card. Still need to work a little bit out in here. Move these around, but I could just kind of flick it and tap it until they loosen up. But there it is. Hope you guys like it. Okay, let's move on to our treat boxes. Now, Valentine's Day is a day where you mail a lot of stuff, and I thought a little Valentine's Day treat box would be cute, especially since we have these beautiful arch dies, right? So let's make our treat box. And I was referring to, these are the Everyday Arches. I love this set. It's one of my favorites. Look at all the different sizes. And let me tell you which one that I used on here. I want to say, was it these 2? Nope. So it's the third and fourth smallest, okay? We're gonna do the red one, real red out of this one, and then the third smallest, we're gonna cut the DSP like this, okay? I've pre-cut these for you in the kit, so you don't have to have this die kit. If you don't, you know, it's a good die kit, but you don't have to have it to make these cards. Also, Stylish Shapes dies just for this little circle here. So we've got these dies right here. Okay. Here we go, making ourselves a cute little box. Lots of little pieces. Okay, hold on. I got to get off my leg. I'm sitting on my leg. Pull my chair up. Okay, so we are going to start with the box base. Well, first let me show you the arches. So we've got these arches here, right? 2 real red. These are going to come in your kit just like this. 2 of the DSP smaller that are going to go like this. Before we put this on, we want to have like some little legs on our mailbox. So I want to show you what I did was I took this punch, and this punch is the labeled with love punch, and I'm just going to put it in sideways on each side. I want to make sure that I center it. And you can use any die for this. And you can see I'm just kind of lining it up this way. Let's see, do I want more leg this way? Trying to decide how much leg I want on this. I'm going to put the dots right to the curved part. Okay, so you can see what we have then. And it's a little bit deep right here, but we're going to cover some of it up. So let's go ahead and punch the other one. Just like that. All right. Now let's put down our other ones, and they're going to cover up some of this on the bottom. And this is going to be the sides of our box. So let's line this up. And I'm going to cut off the dots about here. So not much. You can see I'm not cutting off much. Just pretty much cutting off the dots because I still want some of that pretty leg part to show, right? So here's what we've got. Let's do the same thing on the other side. I'm just cutting right around the dots, maybe just a tiny bit above the dots. And putting that down. Let me put a little more adhesive because I really don't want that sticking up. All right, now the sides of our box are ready. Now we need something to stick the sides to, right? So that's where our box comes in. All right, hold on. I've got a glue dot here in my work area. That's not good. Okay, so we're starting with this piece of real red, all right? And this piece is 9 by 4 3/4. And then we're going to score it. So we're going to score it on this short side here. So this first score is 1 1/2 and 3 1/4, or 1 1/2 from both sides if you do it that way. All right, next, we're going to do this side, the long side right here. So the score marks on the long side are 1/2, 1 1/2, 3 3/4, 5 1/4, 7 1/2, and 8 1/2. So let's fold on all of our score lines. Then we're going to do a little bit of cutting. Okay, this one's going to go here. I'm not doing the little one yet because the little skinny ones on the end are going to fold back the other way. But all the rest go like this. All right, so this last one folds back this way. We'll do the same thing on the other side. It's going to fold back this way. All right, so now we've done all that. Now, we are going to do some cutting, and let me see if I can remember what to do. All right, I'm going to start by cutting off these 2 pieces, like the corners, on all 4 sides. Oops, come on. And you can see it's just like 2 little sections. Can you see that? So let's do that. So this is going to be the very top that's going to meet we're going to put some holes here and tie it at the top of the mailbox, okay? You guys, this box took me a little bit to create. I must have done, I don't know, about 6 of these until I finally got everything the right measurements that I wanted. And it's a small box. You could definitely alter the measurements and make it a little bit larger if you wanted. But it's a cute size, I feel like. Okay, so we've cut off all 4 corners so far. This is what we have. Now this part you can see is going to fold up. This is going to go together, and then these are going to fold in. So we're going to take these long sides and we're going to cut here. Up to you if you want to cut a little bit of the corners off or keep them straight. I'm going to keep mine straight and see how that works out. Okay, we are ready to assemble our box. So this is going to come up like, like this. Okay, so these are going to go together like this, which means right here we're going to fold the sides in. All right, so let's start by adding some glue here and some glue here, and then bring this side up. All right, so we'll bring the 2 sides up. Can you see? I want to try and make them as square as possible so that everything lines up right. Let me pull that back a little so you can see. Now it probably would have helped a little bit to cut off the corners here, but I did not. But I can always make adjustments after I've done the first side and just trim just a little bit so we still get it nice and straight. So I'm kind of cutting a little bit of the corners off afterwards, which is okay. The reason I didn't cut the corners in the first place is I wanted to make sure that it was square. And sometimes if you cut the corners, it gets a little slanted. Okay. Next, we're going to put these 2 like this. All right. So our adhesive's going to go here. I recommend using glue because you want it to stay stuck. All right. Gluing that like that. Let me just make sure it's going to stick together. I love our glue. You put it in place, it stays, it's perfect. All right, now we have the 2 rough edges. This is going to be towards the back, so the folded edge will be towards the front, okay? And now we see how this is going to line up with our, we can go ahead and punch our holes. I just used a regular hole punch, and I'm just going to punch 2 holes so we can thread our ribbon through. See if I can get them kind of, sort of equal. Okay, see how we have that here? All lined up. So now our little sides are gonna go right on the side like that, okay? So let's start with one by adding some adhesive. The other nice thing about this adhesive is you have a little room to move it around until you're sure you have it exactly where you want it. So I'm going to just hook it up to the bottom of here. And make sure I'm kind of sort of equal on the sides. Let's take a look here. Make sure everything's straight and lined up. Kind of, sort of. Okay, that's better. All right, I think I'm happy with that. Now we have to get the other side to match exactly. And one of the most important things is we want to make sure it's going to stand up right? So we have to make sure that it's not going to be, wow, that looks pretty good, you guys. I think I'm pretty good with that. It looks pretty even. Let me just rub a little bit on the inside so we get a good seal with the glue. And that's it. Cute, right? So I said that this is the front. So this is the part we're going to decorate next. All right. Put some candy in there. What have I got here? I got, what I put in this one, the first one I did, I have just some of these little strawberry cream savers, but then I upped my game a little and I got some Dove candies. Let's do the dark chocolate ones because I like the red and pink on it. And these are just some nice chocolate wrapped hearts. Who doesn't love chocolate for Valentine's Day? So we're just going to put some of these nice wrapped hearts in here. There's a little tree. You can make a bunch of these, right? Okay, so let's decorate. So I've got some very small pieces. So here is that stylish shaped circle, right? So we've got that one. We've got Flirty Flamingo. And let me tell you the measurements for these. So this little Flirty Flamingo is 2 by 1.5. And then the other Flirty Flamingo is 1.5 by 3/4. All right. Now we have a little piece of white layer to go in them. And this one is 1 3/8 by 5/8. So that's going to go like that. And then we have a piece of DSP that's going to go in this one right here. And that little piece is 1 7/8 by 1 3/8. Small measurements, right? But that's going to go in there. All right. So let's attach some of these things right off the bat. I've got one tiny bit of stamping to do. The to and the from stamps are separate stamps. Excuse me. My throat is dry all of a sudden. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate that. Okay, this is going to go right here. That chocolate's kind of heavy for the front. This one, we're going to take the 2 in real red. Put some of this away. Ugh. Go away. Hold on, I'm having a sticky moment. So I have the 2. Where is the 2? Here it is. I'm just going to do this cute little 2 on our very tiny piece of white. And that way you can put somebody's name on it, which I would recommend writing before you attach it to the mailbox. All right, let's put this on. The little part which would normally be like the slot part. Whoops, not upside down. Right about here. Okay. All right, so we have this little piece. Now take the little scrap of red that's going to come with, and hold on, I need to make a note. Okay, and you're going to use this die right here. Let me find it. This cute little XO, and there's several of them. There's 2 XOs, 2 XXs that has the little heart cut out on the O. So die cut that, and we're going to get the little heart from the middle, the X, and the O. So let's glue these on to the circle, and then we're going to pop the circle up. Isn't this cute with the little heart cut out of the O? So cute. I love the little XOs. The paper, the little die cuts, so cute. Okay, this little heart right here, we're going to put up on here. Just to add a little tiny something right there. Cute. Let's straighten it out just a little bit. Okay, we can pop this up now. My surface is getting very, very sticky. I like to put 2. You could just put 1, but I feel like 2 gives it a little more stability. We'll put that right in the middle. Okay, a couple more things we need to do for this. We're going to use some, this real red ribbon, this shiny ribbon. is on the last chance list. How much do I need? Let's guesstimate. And then this is new. This is with the sweet. This is the bubble bath ribbon, and this is a very skinny ribbon. So I wanted to have 2 ribbons. So let's see if I can now put them together. It's harder to tie 2 ribbons than it is to tie 1 ribbon. So let's start by getting it threaded through the little holes. So, yeah, last chance. So this ribbon's on sale, which is nice because, you know, obviously we're using a lot of real red cardstock and stuff for our projects, so we need red ribbon. So, doubles for Christmas, doubles for Valentine's Day. Okay, let's just start by just doing the knot part, and then I'll start fixing the ribbons. Okay, so this real red shiny ribbon has 2 sides. One is a little bit flatter. So I'm going to try and put my bow with the shiny ribbon on the outside. I hope I left myself enough room on both sides. So I'm going to bring this around on the non-shiny so I can push the shiny side through. And I see it. Now if I can just capture it, we'll be in good shape. So close, but not quite. All right, ta-da, we did it. All right, let's make it a little bit prettier though. And they don't have to stay lined up. They can be, you know, like this, they're kind of on the bow on this one. They don't have to be. They can be a little bit off the bow. So let me just fix it a little bit more. See if I want to make anything just a little bit smaller, and then we'll just trim it up. Can keep playing with it. I could probably play with it forever until I get it looking exactly right, but not that necessary. And cut that. All right, there is our bow. Let's just add, don't press too hard on the legs with this heavy chocolate. Let's just add some basic rhinestone jewels, and I'm just going to use some of the little ones just to add just a little bit of bling on the front. You could color them, but I think I colored them, and I was like, it didn't really add anything, so I thought just the prettiness of just the sparkle is just fine. So we'll just add 3 of those. Okay, that's it. That is our cute little treat box. What do you guys think? You like it? Look at how much better this bow is than this bow. This one still needs work, but that's okay. I'll do it later. All right, thank y'all. Okay, we have 1 project left. I like to save the easy project for last, right? Because are we getting tired yet? By the time I'm, you know, when I'm creating the projects, by the time I get to the 4th project, I'm like, okay, let's do something easy. So, easy. So we've got this bag, and like I said, this is how it's going to come to you if you order the kit. These pieces like this. Now, again, if you were putting maybe some chocolate covered pretzels or something, this would be perfect. But I didn't want that big of a bag. So, as you can see, I'm cutting it off right about here. So let me just get out my trimmer and cut that off. And then what I found was that this part, hold on before I stab myself with a pin, comes off fairly easily, right? So I'm just going to peel this off just like this. And I almost still have the sticky side on it. And then I'm just going to add some adhesive and put it on the back of the shorter piece. Although it was much easier when I did it the first time. I actually did it twice, but okay. All right, let's make sure it's pretty. Add some adhesive, and we're going to add it to the back. There's a seam on the back, so we're just going to add the adhesive right where it was and put it on the side with the seam, just the way that it was, like nothing ever happened. Okay, there we go, shorter bag. A little crooked, but that's okay. Okay, all right, so let's start building on this. And what I did, so you have a bunch of cardstock and paper to die cut. So this big piece of real red here, you're going to go ahead and cut out this big real red heart. Okay, so use your dies for that. You've got this piece right here, which is going to be just the heart that we used before, the regular, like normal heart. So we've got that one. Okay, this one we cut before, same thing in your Flirty Flamingo piece right here. So cut one of those. In this piece of white, we're going to cut the one that has the little hole for the tag. So that's going to go like that. We've got another piece of gold for another gold arrow. This is what we're going to stamp and emboss and cut. And then I have this little piece I'm going to stamp because once you fold it over, I didn't really like the way it looked. So like we're going to close it and fold it over. But I mean, it looks okay when I'm going to fold it in the back, but it was just like, I don't know. It's up to you if you want to put something at the top or not. I mean, it doesn't look so bad there. I feel like my other one was a little bit thicker because some of the cardstock came over, you know, some of this came over and it was like upside down hearts. And I was like, I don't know if I like that. This looks fine. So if you want to add it, you can add it. If not, you don't have to. All right, so let's do some stamping. So we have to stamp on 3 different pieces. We've done all our cutting. Let's start with the easy stamping. Let's get some Flirty Flamingo and do the to and the from. And I kept those on different blocks since I've already used the to. So let's see if I can kind of line them up a little bit and a little bit on an angle. So to, and then let's get the from. And I went a little bit low both times. You probably want to be a little bit higher so that you have some more room. Okay. Real red, if you want to go ahead and put your strip at the top, you can. It's a very, like, it's a 1/2 inch, I think, by 4 inches. And I just went across the whole thing with the little hearts stamped in red. So just kind of lining them up. I'm going fast, so I'm not going very straight. And they seem to be getting lower and lower. And you would think with a clear stamp I could do better, but nope. All right, now time to get out some Versamark. We're gonna emboss in white. Let's get our embossing buddy, especially for the red, because it's gonna pick up all those little white specks. And we will do Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, Lisa. Okay, where is Happy Valentine's Day? How are we doing on time? We're just a little bit over 8. That's not bad. We're just going to do the Versamark. Doesn't have to be straight because we're going to cut around it. And let's get out the white. Don't ask me why I do it twice. I can't help it. Let's tap that off a little. Looks pretty good. If you need to take your brush and get off any other little tiny specks. And I don't know why I'm worrying about these ones on the outside. They're going to be cut off anyway, so. All right, let me get my tweezers so I don't burn my fingers. And we can go ahead and add some heat. Hi, Donna. How are you? All right. See if we can get it to be not too warped here. All right, right, I think we're pretty good. It's looking good. Just double checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, there we go. Put that aside because we're going to cut that out, but I want to let it cool off for a second, make sure I don't rub anything off. And let me just clean this up just a little bit. This adhesive, what have I done? I need my glue gone. Okay, let's start putting this together. So we're going to start by putting down our big heart first. I'm going to leave some room at the top because I want to put some ribbon. So I'm going to keep this a little bit closer to the bottom, I think, right about here. And I'm still going to have my sentiment here. All right. Next, let's add this little Flirty Flamingo heart print heart right over here. We will do this one next, but I want to add the arrows. You can see it's not quite long enough, right? So we're going to have to do some cutting and repositioning. So let's add some glue to our arrow. Or you could also add some adhesive to the back of this to get it to stick, you know, some tape runner to the back. If you just want to run some across like this, it might be a little bit easier to put your arrow instead of the glue. Up to you. See if we can make it look good. All right, I think that's pretty good. Let's add some more adhesive and put it on. So that's going to go right about here. All right, so let's take a little bit. I've got a little bit of twine. This is the red and white twine. And I didn't want to leave this, you know, with the hole open. And we had to put something there, even though normally I'm not a fan of two bows of different kinds on a card, but I don't think it looks bad. So, you know, the other color with this set was the Bubble Bath, and it's in some of the DSP. But aside from, you know, I put that little circle in the mailbox, I just wasn't feeling the Bubble Bath with this. I don't know. I mean, I know it goes okay, but just was not feeling it. So just a little bow right here. If I can grab that and make it a little bit tighter. I want my bow just a little bit smaller. Okay, let's cut off some of that. Okay, now let's do our real red ribbon, and I'm just tying that around. At the top, because I felt like it. Now again, if you don't want to put this, you don't have to either. It's up to you. And you can adjust this to any size that you want, the bag, for whatever size treat that you have. Now you can see I've already sealed it up as we were making it, but I did not put the treat in yet. But I would open it so when we have the bow down here, we can still open it up from the top. It doesn't affect the bow, so I can still put my candy or hot chocolate pack or anything that I want in here. Okay, let's trim that. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. All right, maybe a little bit more to the side. Let me just scooch that over a little bit. Or not. Okay. All right, so up to you then if you want to just add a little adhesive and put this row up here. I think this one doesn't look bad with just the thing across, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave that off for this one. And then lastly, I want to glue this other heart down. So let me get some adhesive on this. Now again, I wanted a little bit of accent with gold on this because I have the gold arrow. So we're going to use some more of those gold embellishments, those dots on here. So this one can go like this. Okay, let's fussy cut around here. And this is easy because like most of it, like this part is just straight, right? So that's easy. And then you can just curve around the other pieces as needed. I just felt like, you know, it's kind of a big die, big stamp with all these words on it. So if you had a die behind it, I just felt like it took up a lot of real estate on the card. That's why I kind of wanted to cut it down and just put it so it's not overpowering our little collage on the front. So that's why I chose to do this little cutting part right here. Okay, there we go. Let's pop that up. It's a little bit curved from the embossing, so I'm going to put a lot of dimensionals on it. And I'm even going to split one just to get on the edge piece right here. And we'll use the other half right here. Okay. All right. Pledge Multi-Surface Cleaner, Renee. And it takes everything off, including glue and the tape runner. That is good to know. I usually will use the Goo Gone, and then I do the Windex multi-purpose afterwards to get the Goo Gone off. And I do that every time before I do a live, so my work surface is fine and not sticky. But I'm interested to try that product. Okay, Donna, you're working on Valentine's Day cards too. All right, right like that. Okay, now we've got, if you have any extra little hearts or anything, you can just add some extra hearts, like some littler ones or some of the bigger ones might look cute right here too. If you're feeling inclined to die cut some of those just to add a little bit more. I have a little adhesive there I've got to get rid of. If you want to add a little bit more, I think we'll put that one down because why not? That's just another little die cut. All right, let me get my glue eraser. This needs to go. No extra glue. Okay, gone. All right, and then let's add those dots lastly. And take your pick in the middle of this mess. I love a nice gold embellishment. It just kind of pops and sticks out from the rest of it right there. Okay, y'all, or you could put another little one. I could just keep going all day, right? Should I add that one too? Why not? It's just there waiting to be added. Just sitting there staring at me. All right, a little bonus glue right there. Okay, you guys, that's it. Those are 4 projects. Again, if you would like to get the kit this week, it's free with a $50 or more order in my store. Plus, you'll get the other benefits from Stampin' Up, the Stampin' Rewards. You'll get the $5 coupon to be used in February. So really good deals. And let's just bring back all our things that we made. We made a lot of stuff, right? So we've got our Hugs and Kisses cards. We have our cute little shaker cards that we made. And then our mailbox treat boxes. And then our cute little gusseted bags. So I hope you liked everything tonight. You guys, thank you so much for watching. I love when you guys join me. And I really, truly appreciate it. I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. Let me just say, if you would like the measurements for this, you can just email me. My email address is right here, sunshineandsparklestamping@gmail.com. There's 2 S's there. Or if you're on my email list, this will go out in tomorrow morning's email. So you'll have access to all the measurements for these cards. And lastly, new Paper Pumpkin came out on the 11th, right? So Easter, and it coordinates with the Easter stuff. Have you guys seen the Easter suite yet? It is so cute. So cute. Lisa, thank you so much. So if you're not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, this is a really cute kit to start with. And then there's some coordinating dies to go with it. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Next week, you guys, I'm not going to be here Tuesday. I'll be here Wednesday instead. I have something to do on Tuesday. So my live next week is going to be Wednesday. I probably should have mentioned that a little bit earlier. I'll put it in my email too. So hopefully you can join me next Wednesday instead of Tuesday. Thank you, Donna. All right, you guys, thanks again, and I'll see you next week. All right, bye-bye.